Hi everyone, I'm John, and welcome back to Puzzle Me This. This is part 12, so it is the 11th month update on the 42,000 piece Around the World Jigsaw Puzzle. This month, I got the sky done as much as I'm going to do it for right now, and then I resorted all the rest of the pieces. My original sort was all 42,000 pieces. And I think that we're half done or close to half done the puzzle now. So this sort was a lot easier. And I recognized a lot more details in the pieces. I picked out old buildings and old structures. And I have 12 cardboards of them. So I'll explain them to you a little later here. We are at 2,174 hours of total hours spent on the puzzle. I have two video clips to show you. Nancy's Storm, or Strum, 9162. She wanted to see me explain a little more of putting the sky pieces in. I did explain some of it a video ago or two videos ago, but she wanted me to explain how I finished kind of doing that. So I have a short video of that, and then I have a video of the old buildings and old structures, of them laid out on the table and me picking through and sorting out patterns and buildings. So I'll show you them now, and then I'll show you the cardboards where I have them and what's on the table. Okay, Nancy Strum 9162 wanted me to explain a little further what I do once I get my rows put together. I showed you up to this point a couple videos ago, and she wondered what my next step was. So this is the row that I'm working on, and it's actually the row from up here. It is the second row, counting from the top. So I have it put back together with the pieces that I found. I didn't find too many pieces because I had gone through them before. And these are the ones I missed or added them since I did that. And it's the second row right here is where these pieces will go. Now this piece has been in the wrong spot for a long time. And I finally found this piece here, which is what goes there. So I'll take this one out and put it up here on the board. Maybe it'll go in one of these other sections here. I'll go up through them and see the pieces that I'm missing I might have on the board here. And you just as an idea of how tricky the sky is, I have these pieces together, but this one and this one don't go together, and this one and this one don't go together. There's just a little bit of color difference. And I don't know if you can see it or not. This one is a little different than this color. And so I'll be going down through these and putting things in, like this here one. That'll go in there. And these two up here will go in there. And I'll just do that and get all of them I can in. I have this lined up with this piece right here. And then this is all going to be the same from here down to here. And it'll be like that for each of these sections going down to the end. So hopefully I can find a home for all these pieces here. And now that I look at it, that's probably not even a sky piece. That probably goes down in the puzzle someplace else. But that's how I get the sky together. And the colors being so close is how I have all these colors in the middle here wrong, because they're all so close together, and I do them a row at a time. So after I get this row in, then I need to get the pieces in that I'm missing for the sky, and then start switching these pieces around and get them in the right section that they belong in. So I hope that helps and makes sense. Okay, I wanted to show you while I was doing this, these cardboards, there's 12 of them. They're all old buildings or old structures. And I have them all laid out here along the edge, and I'm going through and picking patterns out. I'll start on this end and I'll work my way down through. Right now I am picking out pieces that have bricks on them. And you can see that these have bricks. I'm picking them out, and I'll finish going down through and up the other side there and get all the brick pieces I can. And then they can be put together there on the cardboard, and then we can find out where they go on the table. And I'll do that for all the patterns that I can find. Okay, let me start on this side. These are my sky pieces on this pile. These are the rows that these pieces go in here. And these are the ones I don't know which row they go in yet, but I have them according to shape. So those cardboards are sky. These are greens. Any color of green, as long as there's just green on the piece. If a piece had, say, red and green, then I put it with the reds. I always put it with the other color because that kind of eliminates the number of places that that piece would go. But green is just all over the puzzle. So if it's all green, it's on there. There's 4 or 5 cardboards of them. These are mountain pieces. Pieces that have rock or have a texture to it that I don't think is sky. I think they're mountains. These are flowers. These are birds, butterflies, or any kind of animal. Now these are some things that we have picked out already. This is the pyramids and some other pieces. I don't think they're pyramids, but we have them separated too. These are a lot of pieces that I think are the Christ the Redeemer statue. And these are Machu Picchu, which is right next to the Jesus statue, and they have a funny color, brown and green on them. So I think that they go there. These are a cardboard and a half of just miscellaneous pieces that I had left over when I was sorting. And I just wasn't quite sure where to put them. So for now, I just put them on a cardboard and a half. And just, I'll leave them there. We'll have to look through them later for things that we want. These are the cardboards that I have left. I don't have many of the big ones here because they're over here. I'll show you them in a minute when we get over there. But it's nice because we can grab a small cardboard when we're looking through things and picking stuff out. and we don't need a big cardboard to carry around. These are some tree trunk pieces and some pattern pieces there and some water pieces underneath. These are some pieces that I have picked out of the old building cardboards and am getting started on them. These are, I believe, Devil's Tower in Wyoming. These are some roofs, I think maybe from some old castles. And these are a pattern, I'm not sure what it is, but it's a pattern like that. And I saw some of them, so I picked them out. These are all brick pieces. And it's just different types of brick. Apparently there's a lot of different brick on the puzzle. And these are the cardboards. And that we have sorted out. The reds are under here. There's 2 cardboards of red. And then these are a real deep burnt orange color. I thought maybe originally that a lot of them were Ayers Rock. And we do have a lot of them picked out and a lot of Ayers Rock put together. So I'm not sure where all of them will go. But these are brown in front here. These are yellow and orange. I put yellow and orange together. It's hard to tell exactly where to draw the line between yellow and orange. A lot of things are yellow and then it goes kind of to a shadow and then it turns orange. The whites are back here. These here are the old building and structure pieces on this pile. And those are the ones that you just saw on the table spread out that we've been picking through. In front here is 4 cardboards, I believe, of new buildings. And a lot of those buildings I recognize. And I'll pick a piece or 2 out and walk around the table sometimes a couple times or a few times before I can find where it actually goes. These back here are blue, purple, gray, pink, and black. And these here are again some more pattern pieces that we have picked out. Old roofs. I wasn't sure if sorting was going to be worth the time it took, but I think now that it will be worth it because all the pieces that we need, that we're looking for, will pretty much be right here on these 2 tables. Unless it's something specific like sky or grass or mountains or animals. Pretty much all the pieces we need to be going through and looking through are right here. And Janette from Janette and Her Puzzles, she did a 3,000 piece puzzle, which was her biggest puzzle to date. And she did an initial sort, and she said that she just wasn't that familiar with it. And a lot of those pieces she just didn't know quite what to do with. But then she did a sort later on when she recognized more things. She said that made a big difference. And she's right, it really does. Because it'll be nice, I think, and a lot faster here going forward, just having to look through these cardboards and not all of them. I mean, if you remember, we had cardboards on here, we had cardboards in that corner, all the way up and down that side. And now it's all specific over there, and really all we need to look through is these. So let me take these cardboards off the table and I'll show you what's on the table. Okay, I have the cardboards off the table, and I'm really excited to show you the sky this month because it's done pretty well. There still may be a couple pieces that are wrong, but for the most part, the pieces we have in are right. Like I said earlier, we have this many pieces yet of sky, that need to go in here someplace. And Tinkerbella Rocks asked me last month how many sky pieces I thought there was. And I thought, well, if I kind of average it to there and bring it down to here, flatten out the mountains and the buildings and everything, where it would average. And I thought about here someplace, so that would be 11 pieces from the top going down, and there's 581 pieces across, and that came to a little over 6,000 pieces. And there's birds and planes and balloons in the air too, so if you take a little off and just round down to 6,000 pieces, that's how many sky pieces there probably are. And I commented back and told her that surprised me, because the puzzle comes in 7 bags of 6,000 pieces each. So that would be like one full bag out of the 7 that's just sky pieces. So that would be 1/7 of the puzzle is sky. And that comes out to a little over 14% is sky. And I have it. It looks pretty good now. And I had the bottom here, this part was all pretty much right. I tried to put them in where they actually went. And then this section here wasn't bad. But then starting with this section, I had a lot of pieces wrong. So I was working on it and moving pieces from here to the other 2 sections so that I could bring the right ones over and put in. And I had this section mostly done, or at least over halfway done. And then Shauna, who you met in, I think, video 5, Shauna and Jake, they came over, and Shauna started arranging the pieces in these 2 sections. And she did a great job, because it really looks good. I hope that's coming out okay. I think there's still maybe a piece or 2 that's wrong. And down there someplace, there's a couple pieces, and I just keep moving them around. And if you look at it from one direction, it looks like it doesn't fit. But then I move it to the other place where I think it goes and look at it a certain way, and it looks like it doesn't fit there either. So that might be one of them things where it just looks like that. And I would take and have in these sections here where the section breaks are, I would put a piece of black electrical tape on the board here so that I could find the sections. And then I would take it off before the videos so that it wouldn't look funny. And Logic Master Steve said that I should take and put a paper or something down the side and number each row, or each column, I guess, going up and down. And so that's what I did. And as you can see here, I have numbers, like this is number 1, because right here is the break. So that's number 37 for this section, and starting number 1 from this section. And then I come down here, and here is another break, and this is number 1 again. That way, if I have, number 21 that I'm up here working on, I know that there's a number 21 here and a number 21 down there. It's a lot easier and faster to find. So that was a very good idea. Thank you, Steve, for that. That really helped. And Martin Storms is doing this puzzle, and he's doing the sky first. And he has 14 boards, and he's doing one section, one 37-piece section. Like over to here, he would be doing that section on one board, and he has 14 boards. and he's doing the sky first. And he did this section first here. This is probably the easiest section of sky because it's orange and pink, and it's not really like that anywhere else. So he did this section first, and the section down at that end. He did those two sections first. So that way, he knows now that the pattern shapes for the next section, and the next section, and the next section, all the way down to here. He knows that that pattern's going to repeat. And he has that section down here done. So he knows that this pattern is going to repeat 5 more times all the way up to here. I'm thinking the sky might be the hardest part. So hopefully he'll keep us up to date on how he's making out with that. Toys More Review 2341. They asked in the comments about the best lighting for doing puzzles. And Judy from Addicted to Puzzles got back to her, and I'm glad she did, because Judy knows way more about lighting and well, puzzles for that matter than I do. So I'm glad Judy answered her question there. And these are just shop lights. If you can see, there's, I don't know how good that's coming out, but there's 3 shop lights in each set. And I took the center bulbs out because when I put the table in, it was just so much white color reflecting back that we almost need to wear sunglasses. So I took 2 of the bulbs out of each one, and now that we have some pieces on there, I could probably put the other 2 bulbs in and see what that looks like. So let me show you what we have done on the table. We don't have a lot on the table this month that's different, but there are a few things that I don't think were on the table last month. I worked on this mountain some. I don't think that was there last month, or not so much of it anyway. That's the Hajar Mountains, UAE. Hagar, something like that. And then I have, this here, I should show you this. Donna Louise from For the Love of Puzzles. She did the 54,000 piece Travel Around Art puzzle. And that has like a solid color background wall with paintings on it. And she put 2 of the sections together, and the color wasn't quite the same at the joint. And I wondered if I was going to notice that on this puzzle. And if you can see right here at the joint, this is between bags 3 and 4. Going to the left is all one color, and going to the right is another little, it's a little darker blue. And that's the only place that I noticed some color difference at the joints. Now down in the puzzle where there's a lot of colors and things going on, I don't think it would be noticed. But that is the only place in the sky that I noticed there being a little color difference at the joint. And that's the Matterhorn in Switzerland. I should show you that from the other side because you're looking at it upside down there. I did work some on the Space Needle. Let me go around the other side so I can, that way you're not looking at it upside down. I'm used to looking at it upside down because I'm used to working on it from that side of the table. But that's the Space Needle in Seattle. I have half of it done, and I think the other half might have a shadow on it. So I might not be seeing or looking for the right color for the rest of it. Now I had this over here, and I thought that was the rest of it. But it turns out, I think that is the Museum of Contemporary Art in Rio. It is what I think that is. And we've been putting some things in. We've been getting more of this mirror globe. I forget where that is, out in the Midwest, I think, someplace. And it has a reflection of the city behind you when you're looking at it. And there's a lot of things that we've been adding to, and like the terracotta army down there, I put 10 pieces in that when I was sorting out the pieces, and it doesn't even look like I did anything to it. The Christ the Redeemer statue here, I did get, well, maybe about that much more of it, because we had the base before, so I got the top part a little bit. And like I said earlier, that one cardboard over there has a whole bunch of pieces. So I'm hoping that goes up. His head is way up there, and then there's an arm that goes this way and an arm that goes that way. So that's going to fill a lot in, if I can get that filled in. And this is Machu Picchu. It's a funny color, green and brown. And that does connect over here to the side of it. So we do have it connected over here. So I'm hoping that's on that cardboard too over there. So I'm hoping to get more of that done. Also the Hollywood sign. I don't know if we had that last time as good. So we've got part of that now. There is part of a tower or something that goes up through here that we don't have yet. I've been getting more of the Royal Albert Hall. So that is pretty well done now. There's a couple pieces missing from it, but it has a different orange and yellow color. So it kind of stands out when you see it. But I did see a couple pieces that I'm sure go in there because it's the right color, but they don't fit there. So maybe that color combination is somewhere else also. The Parthenon, we've been getting more of the Parthenon roof. And some different, I'm not sure all this was connected. I don't think that was connected to the metro sign before. And that's the Matterhorn there. And this dome in front of it, that is the Sacré Coeur. No, I'm not saying that right, but it's over in Paris. And then right next to it, I have this other building started, and that is the Giralda in Seville. I have a little bit of that. I have the top part of it, and it will come down pretty far, I believe. And I do have more of this done. Slowly, but I'm slowly finding yellow pieces that fit that. And just different things. We finally got that clock. We've been looking for the clock, and once in a while I'll find a piece for it. And this is the Hajar Mountain. The right way up, not upside down. And here's some brick. I showed you earlier a lot of brick cardboards. And here's one. And here is another one. It's part of the Taj Mahal, I believe. That will fit right in here then. In the center. And Mom has been going through those red pieces are driving her nuts because there's not that many of them, and she's sure they ought to fit either here or over here. And so she's been working down here. This is the red gate in Hiroshima, Japan. And the terracotta army. Like I said before, I got 10 of those pieces in, and it still doesn't quite look done yet. So that's kind of where we are this month. So I want to thank everyone so much for watching. And until next time, go put your puzzle together.